Good morning from Moscow. It's Thursday, the 30th of July. In a moment, Ukrainian drones continue to target Wildberries warehouses. And Britain's new Prime Minister is creating a problem for Russia. First, today's edition of Nezavisima Gazeta reports that the FSB charged the founder and head of Telegram, Pavel Durov, with facilitating terrorist activities. The security service said that the platform isn't taking down numerous channels, chats and bots used by Ukrainian intelligence for sabotage, killings and cyber fraud. What could this mean for the Telegram messenger itself, which is so popular in Russia, but which has been coming under sustained pressure from the authorities? Well, the paper writes of speculation that Telegram will eventually be declared an extremist organisation. Among other things, this would mean that any payments by users in its ecosystem, including purchases of the premium subscription and its internal currency Telegram Stars, would then be seen as funding extremism. Moskovsky Komsomolets wonders, is the final withdrawal of Telegram from Russia's legal space looming somewhere in the future? Viedomosti notes that restrictions on Telegram in Russia began last year. In August 2025, Roskomnadzor, that's Russia's media regulator, announced restrictions on phone calls via the messenger. Such charges against Pavel Durov could become the latest grounds for tightening restrictions further. Today, Nezavisima Gazeta has an opinion piece on what to do about Ukrainian drone attacks on Russian warehouses. The daily raids by Ukrainian drones on the entire European part of Russia require an urgent, decisive and systematic response. An analysis of reports by Russia's defense ministry shows that since the start of 2026, more than 50 regions of Russia have come under regular attack by aerial armies of between 500 and 800 drones. But in this air war, an additional front has been opened. One after another, warehouses with civilian goods for online retail are burning. For example, today, that's yesterday, the Wildberries warehouse in the Ryazan region was under attack. This requires special attention. Kiev's large-scale war on marketplaces is apparently aimed at sharply destabilizing the country's consumer market, spurring inflation, and in addition psychologically traumatizing a significant part of the population, breaking the foundations of its daily existence, perhaps even sparking social discontent and localized unrest that can somehow affect the upcoming elections. First, it is necessary to quickly help operators of large warehouse complexes to protect from further air attacks facilities that are totally vulnerable due to their size, openness and accessibility. Warehouses, however, also have an advantage. The large space on their flat roofs is convenient for fortified air defence points, for which good old sandbags, searchlights, large caliber machine gun systems and rapid-fire anti-aircraft guns are suitable. There may also be launch points for drone interceptors and reinforced firefighting installations. On the approaches to warehouses, when there's an alarm, it's quite possible to put into the air barrage balloons. Perhaps it's time to create and train civilian anti-drone volunteer squads. Moskovsky Komsomolets today celebrates the 200th anniversary of the third section of His Imperial Majesty's own Chancellery, effectively a Russian imperial secret police force, a KGB for the Tsar. Back to today, and one thing I've noticed reading through the Russian papers the last few days, Russia isn't quite sure yet how best to transliterate the name of Britain's new Prime Minister. There's no problem with Andy, Indy, but Burnham I've seen spelt with a yeah and an a yeah and another yeah, a yaw and an a yaw and a yeah. No difference of opinion, though, about his policies. Most of the papers here believe that the UK government will remain staunchly pro-Ukraine under Andy Burnham. Now, because it's Thursday, there is no edition of Komsomolskaya Pravda, but here are a couple of jokes from a recent edition of the newspaper. Did you buy a car? Yes, but you need 3 hands to drive it. Why? Well, with one hand you hold onto the steering wheel, with the second hand you hold onto the gears, and with the third hand you wipe your tears. And this. Remember, if there are 6 fingers, it's AI. If there are four fingers, it's a carpenter.